Hi guys, it's Ben CG here, and I've got a big announcement to make today, just a quick little chatty vlog. You can see it in the title already. I'm going back to Japan. I'm so happy that I've finally managed to get the time and the money together to get back out to Japan at last. It's been 3 years since I was last there. Obviously you might have seen the JP14 series, and those videos were made before I actually started my channel, before I started calling myself Ben CG. So it has been 3 years in reality since I was last out there. And this is going to be my 7th trip to Japan. I've been to Japan so many times, going as far back as 2001, and I want to talk a little bit about that today as well. Like why Japan means so much to me and why I just continue to keep going back after all these years. So basically, I went to Japan for the first time way back in 2001 when I was 13, 14 years old, something like that. And I actually went 3 years in succession, 2001, 2 and 3. And the reason for that, actually, it wasn't a holiday as such. Basically, it was some strange circumstances because my parents got divorced around those couple of years. The actual idea was that I was going to move to Japan, and hopefully that is something that would have worked out because I've lived in Switzerland before this, I lived in New York in 1992, under the same circumstances, my dad moving for work. Considering that my dad is still out in Japan now, it's kind of weird to think what might have happened to me if my parents hadn't separated, because I might have turned out to be an extremely different person. I could have been living in Japan for 15, 16 years and I might have been fluent in Japanese, and it feels like there's a weird alternate reality there that I don't want to lose touch with. I don't know if that sounds weird or not, but I kind of just want to maintain that connection with Japan now, because even without that circumstance there, I still would have had that connection with Japan because I'm a Sonic fan, and Sonic is a Japanese thing and it's a huge part of my life. And when I first started getting into like Japanese pop music through DDR, ironically, I actually realised that it all sort of tied together, like those Japanese influences in the Sonic soundtracks and in DDR. It led me gradually into listening to J-pop, and it kind of feels nostalgic in a way. That's kind of why I like Japanese music as well. Some of it, not all of it, but there's always like these thin little threads that are around my life and my circumstances and my reality that I'm trying to tie together and trying not to lose touch with them, because I feel like I might lose myself and lose a certain identity in my past that might have shaped me in one way or the other and might have shaped the person and the circumstances I'm living in now. So it's all about trying to bring things together and trying to find myself in a sense, because that's actually partly what this channel is doing for me as well. I don't know, I'm talking bollocks to be honest, but it's different aesthetics that just make us human, and it makes us feel like we fit in into different places. And I just got sick of trying to brand different sides of me in all different ways, and that's why I created this identity, Ben CG, to try and bring everything together under one roof, if that makes sense, and then try and actually go out and start connecting with people. I just felt like I've been really isolated for a really long time, and part of that is due to the fact that I've got a mild case of Asperger's syndrome. If you don't know what that is, that's a mild form of autism. It's nothing debilitating, it's nothing that holds me back too much in life, but it does mean I don't have very much of a social life here at home, unfortunately. I don't have any real life friends that I hang out with, I just have online friends that I see every now and again. But yeah, I mean, I just want to start connecting with more people, and I feel like I've underestimated people power in my life so far. And seeing how other J-vloggers, and not even just J-vloggers but travel vloggers in general, that have even been able to build up such amazing connections with people and build up a community of people who are engaged with their content and building up opportunities for them and even being able to make a living. I mean, that last one is not really a priority for me. I'm not in this for the money, I'm in this for the people. But I think seeing that inspired me to start doing this. This is why I've decided to start traveling more regularly, because I've really enjoyed traveling as well, but because I want people to connect with, and I want people to engage with the content that I create. Anyway, I completely digress from the main point of being in Japan. The point is that I want people to engage with, and that's why I've been reaching out to people over the last couple of years in anticipation of being able to get back out to Japan to make new friends and to visit them while I'm there. And if they feel like it, make some cool videos together. You might have seen one collaboration I already did back in the past with a really cool YouTuber in Osaka called Tentobata. I taught him some British slang and he taught me some Japanese slang. We had to sort of guess what the different phrases and terms meant, which was quite a laugh. If you haven't seen those videos, you can check out my version of me teaching Tentobata British slang up in this corner here. And I've also made arrangements to try and meet up with Jadan, who's another J-vlogger who's from the UK. He's from up north, and he's making some really great videos. His channel is growing really steadily because he's had the commitment to stick to regular uploads on his channel. There's a lesson there. So yeah, hopefully if plans are in place and if he feels like it, Dan, come on, let's go around Osaka and have a few laughs. So yeah, the plan actually for my trip this time. Obviously last time I went on a big backpacking solo trip to Okinawa. I went down to Ishigaki, that Yaeyama Island archipelago, and I've spent a night on Taketomi-jima, which was such an otherworldly, culture-shocking experience and one of my most precious travel memories now. I'd love to go back there, just now that I know sort of what to expect. I'm not going back to Okinawa this time though, but yeah, last time I did go to the Yaeyama Islands, Ishigaki and Taketomi, and then I went up to the main Okinawa Island and I stayed in Naha for a couple of nights, and then I went to Kyoto for a bit. So this trip is actually supposed to pick up where the JP14 series left off. It's exactly what I would have done if I'd had more time in Japan back in 2014, back when I was making the JP14 series. So I will still be doing my usual spots in Tokyo again because it's just nice to visit places again, to get a little bit of repetition. And I do feel like I have a connection with Japan that it's kind of like my second home now. Even though I've never lived there, I certainly would consider it one day if the opportunity came along. But I don't know if I would want to teach English because I would be earning less than I do now here at home if I did that. I would see if I can get some other kind of job in Japan, but anyway, that's pie in the sky stuff. But even though I've never actually lived there, I've been visiting semi-regularly, so I feel like I've got that connection there for sure. Especially since the first couple of times I was very much under my dad's supervision, very much in his own, unfortunately, a bit of a gaijin bubble. If you don't know what a gaijin bubble is, gaijin is Japanese for foreigner. I'm sure you get the idea, a foreigner bubble, like he just surrounded himself with his own things and never really engaged with Japan as a country. I never really got the chance to engage with Japan properly. I just got to do it under my dad's terms. And it wasn't actually until 2009 or 2011, those visits there, where I really got to sort of break out and started to try and get out into Japan on my own. I mean, I was afraid to just leave the house by myself. Everything was just that foreign to me. And I had no idea how to carry myself and how to get by. But now I've got a lot more confidence about it. I want to be engaging with Japan, and I want to be connecting not just with J-vloggers but with Japanese people as well. And I made a video 2 years ago about how I wanted to be able to speak some decent conversational level of Japanese by the time the Tokyo 2020 Olympics started. I speak enough Japanese to get by. I mean, I still rely on like a couple of cheat sheets and Google Translate and this dictionary I've got on my phone from time to time, but I do need to get my head around the grammar a bit more. But I just want to build that deeper connection with Japan. Every time I make that flight that soars right over the top of Russia, all that way, I feel like I'm just leaving my whole life behind. And when I get to Japan, it's weird because I've got Asperger's, I have had to learn how to communicate very deliberately. But when I go to Japan, because the social structures and the rituals and the manners are all so different over there, I find it fascinating to have to hit that sort of reset button in my brain and to try and communicate in a way that's appropriate to Japan. And I find over the years that I've been there, it actually brings out the best in me because I have to be more polite, I have to be a lot more accepting of when things don't go my way. It feels like this very safe, very entertaining, enigmatic, fascinating paradise that I can just escape to for a couple of weeks at a time. And I love that feeling of being just leaving my whole UK life behind. Anyway, I'm not going to be alone this time either when I'm in Tokyo. I'm going to be with a friend of mine from America. His name is Dakota. He's got a YouTube channel where he does like video game music covers and he plays some acoustic music as well. He's going to meet me over there, and we met once before when he came to England last year and I showed him around a bit. I'll show you a couple clips here. But he's a super nice guy and we're really good friends, and I'm looking forward to showing him around Japan because it's going to be his very first time there. And I'm kind of looking forward to vicariously living that first experience of Japan through him again, if that makes sense. I'm sure he might find that a little creepy, but because I've been there so many times now, there are things that don't surprise me as much, and there are things that always do as well. That's why I love Japan, because every time I go there, there's something new to discover. The plan is I'm going to be in Tokyo for a couple of days. As usual, I'm going to be hitting up some of my usual spots and trying to discover a couple of new things as well. I want to make some new versions of old videos that didn't turn out too well last time. I'm also going to be going back to Nikko, which is a city in the Tochigi prefecture. It's up in the mountains. I'm going to be staying near Lake Chuzenji. This is a place I first visited in 2009 with my dad and my brother. It really touched my soul. We stayed in this lakeside ryokan there, and I'm going to be doing that again. I've not found the same ryokan. I found a very nice ryokan with an onsen, a hot spring, that I'm going to be staying at with Dakota. So we're going to have that very kind of traditional Japanese experience, which will give me and Dakota, I hope, a healthy amount of culture shock. Not enough to make us run home screaming, but just enough to open our horizons a bit. So we're spending one night in Nikko, and I'm going to be enjoying the onsen ryokan experience, and I'm going to show you the gorgeous Lake Chuzenji, and I'm also going to be seeing the sights there, such as the shrines and temples that are there, and Rinoji, which is under renovation to my understanding at the moment. And then I'm going to be going off on my own out of Tokyo, so I'm going to be heading down first to Nagoya to visit my friend who I visited in Okinawa before. So I'm going to be spending one day in Nagoya. If there are any J-vloggers or any other people that want to meet up in Nagoya, please get in touch, let me know pretty soon, sooner rather than later, because I'm leaving in about 3 days and then I'm going to go on to Kyoto because I need to see more of that gorgeous city. And it feels weird because I've been to Japan so many times, but I've not been to these other touristy cities outside of Tokyo much. You would probably expect for someone going to Japan for the 7th time that they'd start showing you some more in-depth stuff, but I haven't seen the basics yet. So I will be visiting Kyoto, I will be visiting some of those tourist traps, and I will be staying in a nice capsule hotel there because they're cheap and cheerful and I kind of like the quirky experience. I'm going to be going on to Osaka, and I'm going to be meeting up with a bunch of different friends there. One of them actually was at my university. She was in my class and she's living there as an English teacher now. I think she's an English teacher. So I'm going to be meeting up with her, so it'd be nice to see her again. I'm staying in another capsule hotel there right near Dotonbori, which is where the Glico Man sign is. So I'm smack in the middle of the action, which I can't wait. I'm not sure if I'm going to try takoyaki, because the idea of eating octopus kind of grosses me out, but just like there's tentacles and plunges and everything. I was like, ugh. But yeah, I will be in Osaka, so if you're in Osaka or Kyoto or Nagoya and you want to meet up with me and you want to be friends, you want to do a video together, hit me up, let me know. I am wide open. And yeah, so that's the plan. It's Tokyo, Nikko, Nagoya, Kyoto and Osaka, and then back to Tokyo for a couple more days. So it's a bit of a Shinkansen tour, which is quite expensive, but I've got all the money set aside. And that's it. I've rambled way more than I really thought I would on this vlog. I'm really excited to be going back to Japan. I'm really excited to be going to make lots more videos for you guys to enjoy. And in the meantime, please do stay tuned. The Portugal videos are still coming. The second one's almost done. I'm just doing the last finishing touches now. I'll try and get that online as hard as I can before I take off. Really looking forward to getting back out to Japan. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. I'm nearly at 200 subscribers. Can you get me there before I leave? Please do. That would be amazing. Also, come and see me on Facebook, facebook.com/BenCGVideos. I'll be uploading some exclusive clips from Japan for you over there. Raw, unedited, short videos. So come and see me there, facebook.com/BenCGVideos. You can also tweet me if you want to. And that's it. That's everything. Ciao for now. See you in Tokyo.